All right, stop me if you've been in this situation before. A friend recommends a game, movie, TV show, whatever to you, and you start playing it or watching it or whatever, and you get a little bit into it and you're just not really feeling it. And so you go back to that friend and you say, "Oh, well, I tried it, but it just wasn't for me." To which your friend responds, "Oh, don't worry. The game gets really good. You only have to play it for X number of hours." Now, sometimes it'll be, 10 hours, 15 hours, maybe even less than that, but you get the gist of it. This is something that I have heard for years. Someone will recommend a game to me and I'll check it out. However, sometimes I'm just not loving the game. And then whoever recommended the game will tell me, "Oh, don't worry, just keep playing." I got tired of this because inevitably the game would rarely live up to the hype that surrounded it. I then felt like I wasted my time playing the game, and this absolutely sucks. So, a few years ago, I made a rule for myself for not only new games, but other forms of media. So, let's get into that rule. You may be asking yourself, why is this rule even important? To which I would say, great question. I have a firmly held belief that life is way too short to waste your free time on media that is not giving you some fulfillment. Also, the older I get, the more valuable my free time becomes. Now that I have goofy stuff to worry about like 401ks and health insurance, I don't want to power through a video game that I'm not enjoying. I don't care how amazing people tell me the game is because I've been told this for years and years. "Oh, just keep playing. It gets really good at 15 hours. I then power through the game to the 15-hour mark and I'm still not having a good time. But then a new problem arises, the sunk cost fallacy. Now, the sunk cost fallacy is the feeling you get when you've invested time into something for so long, and even though the activity is not fruitful, you're reluctant to stop the activity simply based on the time you have put in. I then think to myself, well, maybe it'll be worth it if I play for 20 hours, and then so on and so forth. However, this is rarely the case. I can count on one hand the times when pushing through the game actually worked and I ended up loving the game. A large majority of the time, I simply feel like a big dumb idiot for wasting even more time on a game that I was not enjoying in the first place. So to avoid this disappointment, the strategy that I have implemented is the 3-hour rule. The 3-hour rule is exactly what it sounds like. I am willing to try a new game. However, if that game has not captured me in the first 3 hours, I just put it down. I want to be clear here though, the game does not have to blow me away in the first 3 hours. All the game needs to do is pique my interest enough for me to keep going. And this is, of course, extremely subjective. The game does not need to have the same effect as, say, Elden Ring had on me. I mean, that would be so ridiculous if I went into every game thinking, well, this isn't gripping me as much as Elden Ring, so I'm just going to go play something else. I would be absolutely the dumbest boy in school, and I would be constantly running from game to game to game, trying to find the next Elden Ring, and I don't think that is a fruitful endeavor. That is why I want to be abundantly clear that the bar for the 3-hour rule is not super high. For example, Dark Souls 3 is a game that I started, and I was not blown away by it while playing it at first. However, I ended up beating the game, and I actually loved my experience with the game. The feeling of loving the game, though, did not happen until around 10 hours in, I would say, maybe earlier than that. But at the 3-hour mark, I was at least invested enough to want to keep playing. So again, the bar is not that high here. Now, a question you may have is what happens when a game is good, meets the 3-hour rule initially, but eventually gets stale? Well, this is also pretty simple. After the 3-hour rule, the game is on the chopping block, and anybody can get it. The game has to constantly stay above that enjoyability threshold for me so that I want to keep playing. Again, not a high bar, but I'm constantly asking myself, am I having fun with this game, or at least getting some kind of fulfillment? Because again, I don't want to waste my life away playing games I'm not enjoying. Another point I want to be clear on is that if a game does not meet the 3-hour rule, that doesn't mean I think it's a bad game. Sometimes, sure, there are just bad games, but I hate when people don't like a game and they just instantly go into caveman Neanderthal brain, and someone pulls their little string on their back and they say, oh, bad game. This is bad game. I don't like it. Bad game. I don't like that. I think it's stupid, and you should be a little more critical when judging pieces of media, especially video games. Every now and then, though, a game comes along and I play it and it's just not the right time for me. Sometimes I'll play a game that would normally meet the 3-hour rule for me, but for whatever reason, when I try the game, I'm just not vibing with it. Maybe I've got a headache when I play, a horrific day of work, or just some other stupid reason. I don't know. Sometimes the games just don't hit like they're supposed to. I am not opposed to giving a game a second chance later down the line if it warrants that second chance. Now, you may be scratching your head or maybe your ass, I don't know. I understand that this is really ambiguous, so let me try to explain it. I've tried to play The Witcher 3 so many times. I've started it and I'm having a decent time, but it never hooks me enough for me to dive all the way in. Witcher 3 has failed my 3-hour rule at least 3 times, potentially 4. However, I would still be willing to give it another chance and try to play it once again when The Witcher 4 actually has a release date. Because I'm sorry, if you think The Witcher 4 is coming out within the next 3 years, you are huffing absolute hopium. So once The Witcher 4 gets a release date, I'm going to try The Witcher 3 again to see if I can get into the game. So all that is to say that I'm willing to give games second, third, fourth, even fifth chances. The 3-hour rule has helped me not waste time on games that are not scratching that itch for me. No matter how critically acclaimed a game is, if I am not finding fulfillment in that game, I'm not wasting any more time playing it. I don't think I'll be on my deathbed thinking to myself, man, my life was so awesome, but I wish I would have played Assassin's Creed Valhalla for a few more hours. I played Assassin's Creed Valhalla for 20 hours. And after 20 hours, I was thinking to myself, when does this game start? Like, when? I don't know what's going on. I don't really care what's going on. When is this game going to start? So I don't think I'll be on my deathbed wishing for more time with games like Assassin's Creed Valhalla. However, if I do have that thought on my deathbed, who really cares? Because I'll be dead soon anyway. Thank you all for watching today. I appreciate the indulgences into this weird rule that I have for gaming. I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, please like and subscribe to the channel, of course, so you won't miss any future uploads. I now upload a new video every week. The format's going to be similar to this video, light video essays, as I like to call them, where I ramble on about whatever video game topic is on my mind. So once again, thank you for indulging me. If you want to come hang out with me while I play games and, kind of riff off the top of my head, come visit me on Twitch. I stream on Tuesday and Friday afternoons, and I would love to see you there. However, if that doesn't interest you, no worries at all. I sincerely appreciate you watching this far. I hope you all have a beautiful time, and I will see you all in the next one.